So we'll go through a couple of basics first, because I know there's some people who may not have done as much Pilates as others, okay? So, basic principles. Nice relaxed shoulders, so roll the shoulders around a couple of times and just let the shoulders relax down by your side. You're looking to try and lengthen up through the back of your neck. So think about tucking the chin down a little bit and getting the length up through the back of the neck. Finding your neutral spine, so tilting your pelvis forwards and back as far as you can a couple of times. So you're basically sticking your bum out and then tucking your bum in, and then try and find a nice midway point in there, okay? And then you're looking to just think about tightening your pelvic floor or tightening your waist very slightly to get a basic activation in through your tummy, okay? Right, from there, you've got your nice setup position. We're going to start with our first exercise. So in standing, you're going to try and take the weight onto one leg. Now, you can start by just trying to balance onto one leg. If that's reasonably easy, we're going to move the other leg up and back, okay? If you need to, you can hold on to balance, okay? Don't worry if there's little wobbles. This is going to be easier if you're standing on the floor. It's going to be slightly harder if you stand on a mat. And you're just trying to keep that neutral spine, keep that level pelvis as you move the other leg up and down. Okay, one more. And then swap legs. So again, if just balancing's enough effort, go with that. You can hold on if you need to. If you can manage the basic balance, start moving the other leg. Just keep the breathing nice and relaxed. From a Pilates perspective, you're trying to get breathing down into sort of the base of your lungs, rather than up into your shoulders. But really at this stage, as long as you don't hold your breath and you actually keep breathing, that's good enough. Okay, one more with this leg. And then bring your feet back down. Okay, the next one we're going to try, keeping your feet hip distance apart. And I would say don't overestimate the size of your hips, okay? People tend to overestimate rather than underestimate. So make sure your feet aren't way out here, okay? You want them straight down from your hips. Make sure you've got that neutral spine, shoulders are relaxed. And you're going to try and lift up onto your toes, okay? And back down. Once your heels come back down, you're coming down into a little squat and back up. So lifting up onto the toes and back down, squat and back up. Okay, I'll show you that from the side. So you're trying to keep that neutral spine as you lift up and as you squat down. Again, if you need to hold on to something for a wee bit of balance, that's fine. Just try and make sure you don't bring too much tension into your shoulders if you're holding on. Keep the breathing nice and relaxed. Okay, we'll do two more. And then come back up. Right, we're going to come down onto our backs. So into our basic Pilates rest position. So feet are still hip distance apart. Okay. If you've got a ponytail like me, try and move it out the way a little bit so that you're not lying right onto your ponytail. Feet are hip distance apart, shoulders are nice and relaxed. You're long up through the back of the neck, so think of someone pulling you up from the crown of your head. Getting that neutral spine, so arching all the way up, tucking all the way down, trying to go a couple of times to either extreme, and then finding your midway point. And then you're thinking about centering, so trying to get that little lift up through the pelvic floor, or a little squeeze around the waist as if a belt's tightening a couple of notches around your waist. Okay, arms are going to relax down by our side. We're going to start with some basic bridging work. So from here, you're looking to roll your back up off the mat. So coming from the bottom, rolling all the way up, imagining like your spine's a string of beads, and you're rolling up piece by piece, and then rolling back down piece by piece. Okay, so your bum should be lifting first, then through the lower back, through the mid back. You're aiming to come up to get that straight line from your shoulders to your knees, and then rolling back down. So your bum doesn't get to hit down until your back's down, and down you come. For those of you that have done a fair bit of Pilates with me in the past, you can add a leg lift. Okay, so you're rolling up. If this is your first class, please don't do this bit. Okay, straightening one leg, straightening the other leg, and then rolling back down. Okay, so if this is your first class, or if you're more beginner level, you're sticking with your basic bridge, up and down. If you know what you're doing a bit more, you can add the leg. Okay. Now, like we said at the start, at this stage, as long as you're remembering to breathe, that's kind of good enough. If you really want to try and get the breathing right with your bridge, you would breathe in to prepare, breathe out to roll up, breathe in at the top, and breathe out to roll back down again. Okay. If you're adding your leg extensions, you're just adding an extra breath in and out before you then come back down. Just do a couple more, make sure the shoulders and the neck are still relaxed. Okay, last one. Okay. Our next exercise, we're going to do something called heel slides. So from your nice rest position, you can just check that you've still got that neutral spine. Shoulders are relaxed. You're looking to slide one heel out along the floor or along your mat if you're on a mat. So sliding one heel out and then back in, and then sliding the other heel out and back in. Now, if your mat's not very slidey, you can just keep your foot slightly above the mat as you come out and back in. Or if you've got grippy socks on, it might not slide. Okay. Now with this one, again, you just want to make sure you keep that neutral spine as you lengthen the leg. Keep the shoulders relaxed. You're looking to breathe in to prepare, breathe out to lengthen the leg, breathe in at the end point and breathe out to come back again. So basically if you're moving here, you're aiming to breathe out. When you're not moving, you can take your breath in. Okay, again, for those that are more advanced, if you want to take this up a level, this is just for the ones who've been doing our Pilates classes for a while. Come from your tabletop position and come down and out into your heel slide. And back in. And then swap legs. If you're taking it up there, you need to be sure that you're keeping your neutral spine. You're not letting this pop up off the floor. Okay. And none of these exercises that we're doing today should be sore. You might feel your muscles working, but none of them should actually cause pain. So if they do, you need to either stop or unmute yourself and ask me for an alternative, and I'll give you something different to do. Okay, we're going to do one more with each leg. And then bring the feet back in. Okay, next one we're going to move on to is called a hip twist. So same start position. From here, you're keeping one leg still, the other knee rolls out to the side. Okay. So you're only rolling out as far as you can without your body having to come with you. So the knee rolls out and back in, and then you would swap sides, roll out with the other knee, and back in. So a couple of things to kind of keep an eye on yourself when you're doing this. If you want to, you can use your fingers onto either side of your pelvis, and you're trying to feel that the kind of static side there is not moving as you roll the leg out. Just make sure if you've moved your hands that you haven't tensed up through your shoulders. Okay. So that's one way to keep check on your body rolling. And the other thing you're trying to do is really try and keep this non-moving leg as still as you can. So you're trying to avoid a kind of big side-to-side wobble from that leg. So just a gentle squeeze in through your tummy and a gentle squeeze in through your bum to help keep that leg still. Okay, again, for those of you who want to, if you want to take it up a level, just add the wee hover. So you're bringing your foot about an inch off the floor and doing exactly the same exercise to roll out and back in. And then that foot comes down, the other foot comes up, and you're rolling out and back in. And that just makes the control of things a little bit harder. Okay. Now, if you're happy that you're managing to keep that pelvis still, bring your arms back down by your sides. Breathing wise here, similar to the last exercise, you're breathing in to prepare, breathe out as the leg moves out, breathe in at your end point, and then breathe out to come back in. And you're trying to make the movement here as smooth as you can. So a nice smooth roll out. Try not to have a big kind of jerky end point. You're only moving as far as you're comfortable and as far as you can control. You're not trying to really push the hip beyond where it's comfortable here. Okay, we'll do one more with each leg. And then come back to your rest position. Okay, make sure you've still got that neutral spine. We're going to take your hands up towards the ceiling. Okay, so the next exercise is called an overhead reach. So hands are up towards the ceiling, but you're not reaching up to the sky. You're still feeling the backs of your shoulders on the floor or on your mat. Okay, make sure the neck's still nice and long and your head and neck stays really relaxed here. It's not moving. From here, the main aim is to try and keep the rib cage tucked down as you then take the hands up overhead just as far as you can control and back up. Okay, so I'm going to exaggerate, but what you're looking to avoid is this. Okay, so you don't want the ribs to be popping up to let you take your arms back. Ribs stay tucked in, you've got your neutral spine, arms go back and then up. Okay. Again, you're breathing in to prepare, breathe out as the arms go back. Don't worry if you can't get them all the way to the floor, you're just taking them as far as you can. Breathe in at your end point and breathe out to come back up. Okay, for those here who are a wee bit more advanced, try just creeping your feet away. Okay, so you're going to creep your feet away basically as far as you can without losing that neutral spine. And then you're keeping the ribs tucked down as the arms go back and come up. Okay. So just having to work that wee bit harder to keep your ribs down if your feet are further away from you. Now this is quite a good one to practice, trying to get the breath down into the bottom of the lungs. Okay? So try to breathe down with your diaphragm, it is basically, but breathing down into the bottom of your lungs, into your tummy, rather than breathing up into your shoulders. Okay, we're going to do one more like this. And then we're going to change it slightly so that we're moving opposite arm and leg. Okay, now this is going to be easier the higher you keep your arm and leg. It's harder the closer you get to the floor. Okay? So what you're looking to do, make sure you've got that neutral spine. You're keeping the rib cage tucked down. Breathe in, breathe out. Take the arm and leg off on a diagonal. Breathe in and then breathe out to come back. Okay, and then the other side goes, so you're breathing in, you breathe out to reach off with the arm and leg, breathe in at the end, breathe out to come back. So as I said, you can kind of self-moderate this. It's going to be far easier if the arm and leg are quite high. It's going to get harder the lower you take the arm and leg down. So you can just challenge yourself a little bit, gradually try and take the arm and leg lower. Make sure you're still keeping that neutral spine. You shouldn't be feeling any pain in your back or in your neck. And if you can get them all the way to the floor, then fantastic. Again, for those that are a wee bit more advanced, if you want to, you can start from your tabletop. If you don't know what I'm talking about with a tabletop, don't do it, okay? So this is just for those who kind of know what they're doing here. Okay, everyone else, we're sticking down here. Make sure your shoulders aren't creeping up towards your ears. Neck still really nice and long. You've got that neutral spine. You've still got your little tuck up into your pelvic floor, into your tummy. So a few different things you can check as you're going along. Okay, we'll do one more with each side. Okay, and then if your feet are up, bring your feet back down, and then bring the arms back down by your side. Right, last one we're going to do on our back for now. If you have the space to do it, put your arms out to the side a little bit more. If you don't have as much space, don't worry too much. If you can get them even out a little bit, it's going to help, okay? If you've got the space, your arms are coming straight out to your sides. From there, just check you've got your neutral spine, nice length through the neck. Now, you're trying to keep that little gap between your knees, so your feet are still hip distance apart. Both knees are rolling off to one side. Okay. Now your hips and your body can roll with you, but you're keeping your shoulders on the mat or on the floor. Okay, so you're not coming all the way around. Okay, shoulders have got to be able to stay down. And then you're going to try and pull back from the rib cage to come back up to the middle, and then rolling off to the other side. Now this one, you're looking for similar to the bridge, that you're getting that sort of piece by piece movement through the body as you roll. So the knees go first, through the legs, through the hips, up through the back. And then as you come back, you're trying to get the upper back and the rib cage down first. Roll the rest of the back on. The hips come up and the knees come up. Okay. Again, for those that want to take this on, you can add your leg extension. Okay. So if you want to, you're adding a straight leg. You're always rolling to the side of the bent knee. So you roll round, shoulders have got to stay on the floor, pull back, roll back up, and then you swap legs in the middle to then roll off to the other side. Okay, now don't worry if you're not getting all the way to the floor, you're just rolling as far as you can control, or as far as your body moves. Okay. What you can do as you roll is add a look in towards the opposite hand. So if the knees are rolling left, you're looking towards your right hand and then rolling back up. Just make sure if you are rolling the head round, it's not lifting from the mat. So the head rolls side to side, it doesn't lift and turn. Okay. This is another one. You're looking to breathe in to prepare, breathe out to roll. Breathe in at your end point and breathe out to come back up. Okay, we'll do one more to each side. Okay, now I'm going to come round onto one side. So if you've got a pillow of some sort, or a jumper, or a rolled up towel, you can use that and pop it in between your ear and your arm, okay? If you don't have a towel or a pillow, don't worry about it. You're just going to use your arm to support your head. So if you're comfortable, you would be trying to have the arm straight up under your ear. If that's really not comfortable on your neck, just tuck your arm in to give your head a little bit more support, okay? Or grab a pillow very quickly. Now, from here, we're again going to find that neutral spine. So you're tilting forwards and tucking backwards, okay? And then trying to find your midway point. Shoulders are relaxed, neck is long up through the back. And then the only extra bit that we try to get on our sides is a bit more length through the waist. So tendency when you're on your side is for everything to kind of collapse into the floor. So you're trying to lengthen that top hip away from you. So you're creating either a gap between your bottom half and the floor, or just a lightening of pressure underneath. So just try that a couple of times, kind of collapse into the floor and then lengthen. So it's that top hip pushing away that gives you the length. Okay. And then you're going to keep that lengthened position, keep the neutral spine, shoulders relaxed. From here, we're going to do some clams. So you're looking for your feet to be roughly in line with your bum and your knees tucked out in front of you. Your feet are going to stay together as you lift your top knee and then come back down. And then you're trying to keep your knees together as you lift your foot and come back down. So feet stay together as the knee goes up and down. Knees stay together as the foot goes up and down. Trying to make sure that your body's not moving. So it's just that top leg that's moving. Your body isn't rolling with you. Forwards and back. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. You would be aiming to breathe out as you move the leg up. Breathe in as it comes back down. Breathe out as the foot goes up. Breathe in as it comes back down. But like I said at the start, don't worry too much as long as you're actually breathing and not holding your breath. That's good enough at this stage. Just check those shoulders are still relaxed, head and neck still relaxed. Just keep a nice smooth flow from one movement to the next. We're going to do 4 more in each direction. Okay, and then you're going to straighten both legs out. Now, from here, you're getting your neutral spine position. You've lengthened your waist. Okay. Now you may need a little bit of support from your top hand. So if you need to, you're going to bring your fingertips down at waist level. Try and avoid bringing your hand down up here, because it just brings a heap of extra tension into your head and shoulders. Okay, so if you're using your hand, it comes at waist level, and try and use it as little as possible. Now, we're going to do our exercise of the week this week, okay? So basically what you're trying to do is write the alphabet with your top leg. So have a break at any point if you need to, but you're just using that top leg, lifting it slightly, and then trying to write all the letters of the alphabet. A, B, C, D, okay, and you're just working your way through the alphabet. You can make the letters as big or as small as you can control. Smaller letters are obviously going to be slightly easier. Okay, and you're trying to keep the body position really nice and stable as the leg's moving. So trying to avoid lots of this sort of effect as the leg's moving about. Just keep the breathing nice and relaxed, nice steady breathing as you work your way through the alphabet. Once you've finished your alphabet, just bring the leg down and relax. Check if you've still got that length through the waist, shoulders are still relaxed. If you're using that top arm, make sure your shoulder's not creeping up. Okay, and once you've finished your alphabet, we're going to come round onto our tummies. I'll just give everyone a second to make sure you can get your alphabet finished. Okay, now when you're on your tummy, again, if you've got a pillow or a rolled up towel or something, you can pop that under your forehead just to give you a wee bit more breathing space. And then you're looking to make a diamond sort of shape with your hands, and that comes onto your forehead, okay? If you really can't breathe here, you can turn your head to one side, okay? But ideally, you're going straight down so that you can get that length up through the back of the neck. Shoulders are relaxed. You've got your neutral spine again, so just going through that kind of tuck and tilt movement and finding your midway point. And then you're trying to think about just lifting your tummy button gently up towards the ceiling, okay? So again, you're lightening the pressure between your tummy and the floor. Now, from here, we're going to do some one-leg kicks. So you're looking to try and keep the neutral spine, bringing a little lift from the thigh. Heel comes towards your bum, back down, and the leg comes down. Other leg lifts, heel comes towards bum, leg straightens, and back down. Don't worry if you're not getting much of a lift out of the thigh. You want to be really working to keep that neutral spine. And depending how tight your hips are, that may mean that you don't get much of a thigh lift. Okay? Don't lift the thigh higher at the expense of the back. So you want to be avoiding this sort of movement where the back's going just to let you get the leg up really high. You can see how high my leg's going, and it's not very high. So if you're getting it much higher than my leg, you're probably losing your back position slightly. Okay, just think about that pressure of your tummy onto the floor, and you don't want to feel that increases as the leg lifts. Keep the breathing nice and smooth. Ideally, you would be breathing out as you lift your leg, breathing in, then out as the leg moves, and in as the leg comes back down again. Okay, but again, worrying more about getting the control and the movement right, and just try and keep breathing. Don't stress too much about getting the breathing in the right place. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Just check that tummy is still tucked up. Here we're going to do 2 more with each leg. Okay, and then we're going to come around onto our other side. Whichever side you've not done yet. Okay, you're coming round, so just getting our setup position right again. If you've got a pillow, fold a jumper or towel or something, it can come in under this ear. If you need to support your head more, you can bend that bottom arm. But if you're comfortable with it, keeping the arms straight keeps your body in slightly better position. From here, shoulders are relaxed. You've got your neutral spine, getting that tilt forwards and back and finding midway. And then we're thinking about lengthening that waist, so pushing that top hip away to create that gap or that lightening of pressure under your waist. From here, feet are roughly in line with your bum, with your knees tucked out in front, top arms relaxed. You're rotating up with the top knee and back down, and then up with that top foot and back down. As the knee goes up, the feet stay together, and as the foot goes up, the knees stay together. Trying to make sure the rest of your body's not moving, so you're not getting a rock forwards and backwards through the body as the leg moves. And you're breathing out as the leg goes up, in as it comes back down, out as the foot goes up, in as it comes back down. Keep the shoulders relaxed, keep the head and neck relaxed. Just make sure you've still got that neutral spine, you've still got that length through the waist. Okay, we're going to do 4 more in each direction. Okay, and then both legs are straightening. Okay. As we did on the other side, if you need to, you can bring that top hand down with your fingertips coming in about waist level. Try and avoid this position. Okay, so fingertips are down here and they're providing as little support as you can get away with. Try not to rely on that hand to stay upright. You've got your neutral spine. Lengthen out the waist, push that top hip away. Okay, if you can, top arm can just relax along your side, and then we're writing the alphabet with that top leg. Okay. So again, smaller letters are going to be easier. If you go for really big letters, that's going to be harder. The main aim is to try and keep the body still as the leg moves. So you're avoiding any big rocks forwards and back. You're keeping the length through the waist. Shoulders stay relaxed, they're not creeping up towards your ears. Bring the leg down and have a break anytime if you need to. And with this one, just try and keep nice, steady breathing. Down into the bottom of the lungs if you can. Once you finish your alphabet, just bring that leg down. Okay. And our last exercise, we're going to turn around onto our backs. So this is the last bit of hard work before we do a wee stretch. We'll just give everyone a second to make sure you get through your alphabet. Can't have anyone missing out the last few letters. Okay, so when you're coming back round onto your back, you're getting that rest position back again. So feet are hip distance apart. You've got your neutral spine. Okay, shoulders are relaxed. Neck is lengthened up through the back, so someone's pulling you from the crown of your head. Okay, from here, we're going to do one last exercise which really works the tummy muscles. So we're going to do something called our hundreds. Now you need to be really careful that you don't bring too much tension into your neck with this one. So if you feel your neck's overworking, just forget about it and bring the head back down and you get to relax, okay? But if you can get your head and neck position right, you should be able to take a lot of the tension out of there. So you're looking to imagine that you've got a little orange or a tennis ball or something like that tucked under your chin. So you're squeezing down slightly onto that orange to keep it in place. Okay, so it's not coming all the way down because then you've squished your orange completely, but you're bringing it down slightly enough to keep that feeling of having the orange in place. Okay, from there, you keep your orange in place and you keep your neutral spine, and then you're squeezing more through kind of your upper abs, so the area in between your rib cage, to try and lift up so your head, neck, shoulder blades come off the floor. So you've still got your orange tucked under here and everything else is lifted. Okay, just come back down. Okay, so we're going to get that position back. So orange under the chin, shoulders are relaxed, you've got your neutral spine. squeezing through here to lift head, neck and shoulders, and then you're trying to bring in a little pulse with the arms. So the arms are just pulsing up and down, reasonable speed. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Make sure that doesn't bring too much tension into the head and neck. Don't worry if you're a wee bit shaky here, that's just your abs working. And if you feel your muscles in your neck working slightly to hold you, that's fine, as long as it's not bringing on any pain. Okay, I'm going to try and do 100 pulses, hence the reason for the name. I think that's us up to 70. Just try and keep breathing. And that's 100. And roll back down. Okay, we're going to try that once more. From a breathing perspective, you're aiming to breathe in for 10 pulses, out for 10 pulses, something along those lines, so that you keep a nice steady breath going the whole time and you're not holding your breath. Okay, so last one. Get your orange tucked back under your chin so it's squeezed in place but not completely squished. Okay, arms relaxed down by your side. You're squeezing through those upper abs to lift up through the shoulder blades, and then the hands pulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep the hands pulsing. Breathing in for about 10 pulses, out for about 10 pulses. That's 70 pulses done, so we're nearly there. And relax. Well done. Right, that's the hard work done. We're just going to have a little stretch off. So just stretch the legs away and stretch the arms away. And just do a big kind of stretch through your body. So you're trying to just wriggle your hands and feet away from you. Okay, and then bring your arms down. Bring your right leg up and across your body. Okay, and you're trying to bring it down towards the floor, just as far as it'll go. Don't worry if it's not getting anywhere near the floor. Your left leg staying straight out along your mat or along the floor. Okay, and then roll back to the middle and swap sides. So left leg comes up and across. And then back to the middle. Okay, you're going to come up into more of a sitting position. Okay, and you're crossing one leg over the other. So one leg crosses over the other, and you're basically just trying to hug that knee. So keeping your body as tall as you can, hugging that knee in. And then relax, and then hug the other knee. And then relax. Okay. Let one leg just kind of fall out to the side. Doesn't have to be too tucked in, just somewhere that if it's comfortable. If it's not comfy in this position, just bend it and pop it out like that. Okay. From here, you're going to put your hands onto your straight leg and you're trying to run your hands down towards your foot as far as you can. And then come back up and swap sides. Okay, and then again, hands onto the straight leg and run your hands down as far as you can. and then come back up. We're going to come up into standing. Just take your time coming back up, especially if you get lightheaded. Okay, so from here, you're going to clasp your hands together behind your back and try and lift your hands up towards the ceiling. So body stays tall as the hands lift. And then relax down. And then pushing your hands down towards the floor. Here comes off to one side and back up, and then off to the other side. Okay, just a couple of times to each side. Don't worry about clicks and cracks and creaks. Okay, and then we're going to do a couple of roll downs to finish. So, those of you who know what you're doing, just go for it. So you're standing with your feet hip distance apart. Nice relaxed body. So shoulders are relaxed, knees are relaxed. Try not to lock your knees out completely with this. Okay, so soften the knees just slightly. From here, you're trying to tuck your chin down to your chest and then roll piece by piece down through your back. So again, trying to think about that string of beads and you're rolling piece by piece. Arms stay heavy. Down through the back. Rolling as far as you can. And then you're trying to step back up again. So hips come up first, through the pelvis, through the lower back, mid back, upper back, head and neck. Okay, and then just get your head together slightly. And we're going to do one more. So really try and think about getting that movement piece by piece through the back. Keep the knees soft, arms heavy. Make sure you're not holding your breath. And roll back up again. And relax. Well done, everyone. That was really good.